I want to start by sharing that throughout the process for preparing for this talk for today, I was really, really excited. I mean, I wanted to be on this stage and share my thoughts with you. But I also noticed that there was another feeling there, that it was equally intense as excitement, and that was anxiety. I was worried. I was afraid of how I would really feel when I stand on this stage in front of 100 people looking at me. And that gave birth to a question. Can a person have two opposite feelings at the exact same moment? And that led to the following thought. We constantly move from one side to the other, from one opposite to the other. We are either this or that, but almost rarely we stop to consider that maybe we are this and that. This is just how the nature of our dualistic mind is. And by claiming to reside on one of the two polar opposites, we throw ourselves off balance, and we restrict us from being whole. Take this for example. Some of us believe that we are strong, and we never want to admit to ourselves that we may be weak as well. We need to be strong. I mean, society and people can be really brutal. Even our friends and family can be harsh with us sometimes. But if we get stuck on the strong polar opposite, believing that there's no trace of weakness inside of us, then we become rigid. And we start losing our flexibility, which is also equally important for a healthy and balanced life. Or some of us believe that we are weak, determined that there's no trace of strength inside of us. And this way, we become victims. And people take advantage of us all the time. And then we say, this is our destiny, there's nothing we can do about it. But is that really true? Or how about one day when we wake up and we're feeling really happy, we have a huge smile on our faces because, yes, we got that job, and he kissed me, and yes, he's in love with me. But then the next morning, we wake up, we're feeling really sad because our loan wasn't approved, because we got our blood tests back and they're really horrible and we have to go on a strict diet, so no more chocolate. Because my partner didn't say anything about my new gorgeous look. Really huge mistake. So as you can see, our life is like a roller coaster, from one emotion to the other, from one opposite to the other. We're either happy or sad. But is this the only way we can live? I am a businesswoman, finding myself every day in a very competitive environment with continuous deadlines and demands. Any chance to get overwhelmed? Yes. Any chance to get upset and furious? Yes. Any chance of wanting to pull my hair because sometimes people around me make no sense? Yes. Do I really react in these ways? No? Okay, maybe sometimes I do. But how? How can we avoid all these reactions without suppressing our emotions and exploding later on? Well, we have a businesswoman here that she's in an environment where she can easily get overwhelmed, stressed, angry, upset, furious. By bringing the artist in the picture, we help the businesswoman find creative ways to deal with all these demands without getting out of control. And whether we choose to move from one side to the other, or we choose one side and stay there for good, the list of the opposites can be endless. Rational or emotional, right or wrong, together or alone, success or failure, seriousness or playfulness, material or spiritual. I'm sorry. And that's how we spend most of our waking time, defending our favorite polar without realizing that the other polar exists in us as well. And by doing so, we create a split inside of us. We become separated. We limit the possibilities of feeling complete or adequate, to be in unity and feel connected. And this is what I really want to talk about today. how we can attempt moving from one side to the other, not going all the way to the other end, but rather integrating the two, connecting the two parts, enabling us to find a healthy balance and open ourselves to our wholeness. We, human beings, are by nature material people. I mean, we have a body and we live in a physical world. So obviously, the material world is important to us. But if we choose to live our lives only in material ways, then we choose one of the two polar opposites of the duality, material or spiritual. If we constantly perceive life through the material lens, then our lives become mere repetitions, mechanical actions, recycling of emotions. But if we choose to bring some spirituality in our everyday lives, that's when the material world becomes alive and meaningful, even if the specific moment that we experience is a difficult one. In the physical world, we need to struggle, to take action, to compete, to achieve our goals, to be realistic. In the spiritual world, we need to stand still, to open, and to let ourselves come out. Both worlds are important, but these two worlds need to be integrated, to be connected, enabling us to enjoy a full life. Of course, it is very hard to define spirituality. I mean, it is so vast, sometimes it cannot be grasped. And I'm not referring to any kind of religion, as I believe spirituality encompasses all religions. Spirituality can have a different meaning to each one of us. My sense of spirituality is about the way we approach life every day. How we find the ways to bring clean air in our mundane reality and create balance. How we turn every day into a place of a continuous discovery, a place of exploration. How we find the ways to get ourselves out of that material polarity and step into the magical world of possibilities. One of my great loves is nature. Some may say that nature is material, and they are right, because they are referring to the trees, the rocks, the flowers, the sea. But others may say that nature is spiritual, and they are also right, because they are referring to how they feel when they touch a tree, smell a flower, feel the sea, or observe the clouds going by on the sky, or the sun setting. By opening ourselves to nature, that's when we are able to experience nature's spirit, and that's how we're really able to connect with nature. When we're walking in that forest, when we are sensing every step we take. When we swim, we are sensing every drop of the water. We're not thinking, oh, how soon will it get me to get to that point over there? Or am I going to get there first? Or how do I look in this swimsuit? As Bob Marley brilliantly said, some people feel the rain. Others just get wet. Now, take this way of being into all we do every day, and you will see that what is really important behind every action, our encounters with people, thoughts, situations, feelings, is the amount of attention we give to each situation. The level of quality of all we experience lies in the sensation. Are we there with all our heart? Are we there with our full attention? Are we there in real time? Are we present? Are we there daring to face life with a certain playfulness? To approach the serious matters with a sense of humor? Is it to talk about this? Yes. Is it to live like this? It's possible. Of course, everybody wants happiness. Nobody wants pain. But you can have a rainbow without a little rain. And spirituality is not about quick fixes or about finding and owning the right ways. Spirituality is a process that is happening every moment. Just like the same way we need to breathe in, and breathe out to continue being alive. And to welcome spirituality in our everyday lives, we need tools. And there are many spiritual practices for this purpose. When I was a university student, one of my friends invited me to a meditation. Throughout half the session, I was like, "You're kidding me." I was definitely a skeptic and a fan of the rational polar. Let me tell you, that has changed a lot since then. I have struggled, I resisted, I persisted, and I survived. And I still go through the same process in the exact same order. But I have found out that it is by daring to taste the opposite polar that makes this polar fuller, stronger, and real. I have learned to still practice a number of spiritual practices, but for today, I chose to share the Reiki Discipline. That was the first practice that I have learned, and that was the beginning of bringing spirituality into my life. Reiki means spiritual or sacred universal life force energy. It is an ancient Tibetan technique that was rediscovered in Japan in the early 1900s by Dr. Usui. And Reiki is composed of two words, Rei and Ki. Ki is a non-physical energy that is flowing inside and around everything that has life, people, human, plants. What the Japanese refer to as Ki, the Chinese call it Chi, the Hawaiians refer to it as mana. For India, this is prana, and other disciplines have other names for it. We receive ki from what we eat and drink, from sleep, from the air we breathe. When our ki is high, we feel strong, positive. When our ki is low, we feel weak, and we can get sick more easily. And whether we know it or not, our energy is affected all the time by our surroundings and by the people we come in contact with. And that interrupts this flow of this energy. Reiki heals these interruptions by flowing in our energy field and increasing our level of ki. There are specific points on the body that act as openings and connect us with this universal energy. The practitioner attaches these points and becomes the bridge between the person receiving Reiki and the universal energy. The energy will go wherever it is needed in the body. The practitioner only acts as a bridge. But receiving Reiki is a unique experience for everyone, and it is very difficult to be described with words. As one of my friends once told me, in order to understand the various types of cheese, you need to taste them. And that holds true for Reiki as well. When I first learned Reiki and practiced on myself, I really felt like I was hugging myself. It was awesome. And for me, this is what Reiki is all about. Reiki is love. It's a hug that we give to ourselves and to others. It connects all the love in the universe and the love that each one of us has inside of us, and when these two meet, they create a space. And it's there, always available for us to reach to and get all the strength we need to carry on. Reiki is care, is warmth, is softness, it's abundance. Reiki lessens the pain. It helps us to maintain and protect our health and well-being. It is rejuvenation. It releases the stress and brings relaxation to the body. Reiki is communication between the one giving and the one receiving. It is a way to receive gratitude. Reiki can help us balance the material and the spiritual world. It can help us to give love and care to our best friend, to ourselves. It brings love that morning that we don't like ourselves so much. It brings courage that day that we feel vulnerable. It brings aliveness when we feel numb. And if each one of us takes the responsibility to heal oneself, then this is how the planet begins to heal. So, will Reiki make us instantly happy for the rest of our lives? No. Reiki is right there available for everyone to tap into it. But we have raised all these defenses and resistances that just by going for a session of Reiki will not make us happy forever. we need to put our heart into it. We need to trust the process, and we need to persist with it. The real question is, are we courageous enough to flirt with the opposite polar, a polar we believe we know nothing about? This other polar is our other self, and we need to embrace that other self. If we do take that leap, then we find out that this is where the magic exists. We can live beyond our limiting beliefs. We can open ourselves to our wholeness. The magic is inside of us. We only need to open our hearts so that it can be visible. We should always remember, the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. What I have shared here with you today is simply life perceived through my eyes, and it is just a perspective. There's no right or wrong way to navigate through life. Life is full of choices. We only need to appreciate the joy of living life as an adventure. And we can do this by approaching all tasks, trivial and big ones, with a sense of spirituality. As Martha Graham said, nobody cares if you can't dance well. Just get up and dance. Great dancers are not great because of their technique. They're great because of their passion. Thank you.